Yeah, go for it.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to episode 15 of Just Another RC podcast. Today we're going to be taking through part two with Barry from Barton regarding UK fifth scale on road. So, hi Barry, how was your comfort break? Happily refreshed?
Yeah, much better. Thanks, Phil. Need it
Cool.
today. It's like 35 degrees here at the moment. It is absolutely stifling.
Yeah, so I've been out in the garden all afternoon, so I had to come in because I was at the point of I was feeling I might pass out. I'm trying to dig some big heavy sleepers out, so it's all tough and hard going work. Keep coming across flying ants nest though,
Yeah.
which isn't good. Right, okay, enough
Not
about that. So we are. Where did we get to? We was just touching about engine size and the brake calipers and the size of the vehicle. While we're talking about brakes being quite important, I've just gone onto I went onto the UK Fifth Scale on Road Facebook page earlier. Viewers, if I'm looking away from the camera, I do apologise. I'm not being ignorant. I've got other screens open. I've got multi screens, and I'm looking at other screens for information. So I noticed that you put a post up on the 21st of June. Take it from another page. The importance of standing in your designated marshal points with something looking like the brakes haven't gone entirely well.
No, that's a car which unfortunately we call it a runaway in fifth scale. It was basically the throttle jammed wide open. The car ran away from the driver. It just basically went out of control, and it drove itself full bore into where one of the designated marshal points was. Luckily, the marshal point had obviously safety fencing around it, but in the image you can kind of see the damage it's done to the car, and the car has burst pretty much all the way through the fence. And it's one thing that we do within. I mean, it should be something that happens in every class of racing, but we can be a little bit lax with the smaller classes. We tend to think, oh, nobody's going to get hurt, but all marshals should be standing in the designated spot, and circuits should be designed in such a way to protect the marshals.
Yeah, it just goes to show how important being in your marshal point is, isn't it? Not deviating from that. So, would you like to tell me about your season last year, and then we can start talking about your season this year?
Yeah, I'd rather talk about last year rather than this year, because I must admit this year's not really gone according to plan. But yeah, last year was great. Fifth scale in the UK is growing. We're getting the numbers are getting more and more. We're getting some good turnouts now. We're getting good quality drivers, and we're getting bigger entries. It's really taken off in the UK. From my understanding, I wasn't involved with. I've only been involved with fifth scale for sort of 2 or 3 years now. But my understanding a few years ago, the fifth scale scene was sort of dying out, and it was a little bit on its knees, to be honest with you. Nowadays, it's picking up, and it's going from strength to strength. It's getting bigger and bigger. Last year was a successful year for me, I must admit. I'm not going to lie, I probably wasn't the fastest driver on track at every meeting. In fact, out of the whole season, I only won one national. But I was consistent. I was on the podium in every single race, and it was enough to bag me the 2025 title. This year hasn't quite gone to plan. As with any form of racing, we do have technical failures. We have issues every now and again. Last year I didn't have a single thing go wrong. This year, in the first couple of nationals, I've had a couple of incidents with. For example, the last national, I was running in second place, and in the extreme heat, it looks like my fuel tank decided to start siphoning itself out through the breather, which dumped half its fuel out inside the chassis of the car, and caused me to run out of fuel 5 minutes before the end of the final. It's one of those things. These things happen, and it's just unfortunate that it's a big chunk of points lost in the championship. At the moment, it's one of my teammates who's actually leading the championship, Jarrett Williams. He's a great guy. I really hope he goes on to win it this year. But obviously, I'll be taking the fight to him as best as possible.
So Team Mechatech is still winning the championship.
At the moment, Team Mechatech 1, 2, 3 in the championship, as we were last year. So yeah, for the actual team, we're absolutely flying at the moment. Probably the strongest team in the UK at the moment. We've got, obviously it's not all Mechatech. We've got other brands. There's MCD, there's SA8R, there's Genius, there's Capricorn, there's other brands out there. We've probably got the strongest team. We've got the most numbers. So obviously that's going to reflect in results because we've got more cars on track. I don't know why we happen to have the strongest team. The only thing that I can think is the trackside support from Tyrone is second to none. You know, we're lucky. I don't have to carry spares. Tyrone carries just about every spare part for the car. He stocks tyres, he stocks body shells, he's got everything we need to go fifth scale racing. So yeah, I think that attracts a lot of drivers to Mechatech. For me, Mechatech is probably the best quality brand out there. That's just my own personal opinion. Other people have their own opinion on their preferred brand. For me, I've looked at other cars and I just don't think you can beat Mechatech quality. I've been to Mechatech factory and met Massimo and William, who are the two guys who started up Mechatech Racing Components, and they're absolutely fantastic. I go abroad quite a lot now with my racing. I actually prefer racing in Europe to UK, believe it or not. It costs a bit more, but I thoroughly enjoy going into Europe. And William and Massimo have been nothing but good to me. They've been absolutely superb. They've supported me in Italy. They've supported me at every European meeting I've raced in, at the Euros last year, at the EFRA GPs I've done this year. They've provided trackside support, spares, and they've always been, you know, on hand to help out with anything. So really can't thank them guys enough. But yeah, for me, Mechatech is where it's at. Got no intention to change brand at the moment. It's the cars are superb. They're built well. They're strong. People look at fifth scale and say it's a lot of money, and it's an expensive class to do. Yes, they're right to a degree. It's expensive to get into. It's one of those things though. Once you're into fifth scale, the running cost is acceptable. Once you've had the initial outlay, generally spending money on the cars, it's minimal. It's just like any other class, you tend to spend your money on tyres, and that's about it.
Yeah. I noticed over your left shoulder there looks to be something that resembles something with a cork in the top and foil around it that fizzes. Is that a bottle of fizz by any chance there from winning something?
That will be, yeah. I can't remember what that one was from now. That was, I forget now. Forget which meeting that was. That was, yeah, winner's champagne. Unfortunately, I got a feeling it might have been raining on the day, so we didn't spray it everywhere. But yeah, it's a bottle there, and I haven't got it in here actually. My trophy for last year is a nice little multi-tiered trophy that the BRCA presented for the 2025 National Championship, and that's actually in the. It's the only trophy that the wife lets me keep outside of this room. It's the only trophy that's actually in the main house, and it's in the living room on the sideboard in there. But yeah, she curses me for it because it's just another thing to dust for her.
I can understand that. So it's just like winning like a proper big motorsport event then, where the winners go on the rostrum and they spray champagne everywhere then.
Yeah, we do everything. We do everything as close to full size racing as we can. So yeah,
Nice.
we the podium presentations. We have the trophy presentation. We have the champagne, everything. Especially in Europe, the bigger meetings. It really is such a great class. I'm going to do a bit of a plug now for the class itself.
Go for it.
The fifth scale class I've found has been absolutely fantastic. It doesn't matter what brand car you drive. We're a bunch of guys that meet up. We have a really good social sort of environment. We all go out together. We eat together. We go for a meal. We drink. but everyone's willing to help each other out. There's none of this sort of clickiness between teams and sort of you're in a team, so we're not helping you out and etc. I mean, just a prime example, at the last meeting, we had one of our up and coming younger drivers. He's sort of moved on from Mechatech to drive a different brand. He was struggling on the day with various problems with his engines and whatnot, and we all mucked in. We helped out. We got him going. There was no sort of snobbery. There was no sort of we're not helping you out because you drive a different car now. It's we all want to see each other on track. We want to race each other. We don't want to see anyone struggling, and it's such a fantastic class. It's a real good group. We've got a mixture of age groups. You know, we've got some younger drivers all the way through to the older guys, but we all get on ever so well. It's absolutely brilliant. When I go abroad, it's absolutely fantastic. The atmosphere abroad is ace, and again, you know, the guys that I meet out there, you know, everyone helps each other out.
I noticed that looking on the Facebook page, there's a couple of rounds where we've got round 1 and 2 are on the same weekend at the same venue. Round 3 and 4 are the same venue, same weekend. So a lot of the time, do you run 2 rounds on one weekend?
Yeah, so that's something we trialled last year and rolled into this year. So the committee was looking at ways to try and reduce costs for everyone. So what we did is we put on basically we put on 3 of our meetings on bank holiday weekends, and what we have is we have open practice on a Saturday. We'll have a round of our championship on the Sunday, and then another round of the championship on the Monday. So the idea was that we can get 2 rounds in one weekend and save people traveling backwards and forwards going across the country on circuits. So we travel to a circuit and we stay for the weekend and we do 2 rounds of racing, and then we leave and travel back again. So it only takes up, I think we have 3 double header meetings, which create obviously 6 rounds of the championship, and then we do 2 single head meetings at Wombwell because they're not able to facilitate a double head meeting. We have 2 single rounds, which means open practice Saturday, race day Sunday, and that's it, like a conventional meeting. So we actually get 2, 4, 6, 8 rounds of the championship, but we only race for 5 weekends of the year. So it gives us more options to go abroad to do EFRA GPs, European Championships. I'm off to the World Championships next month in Switzerland, things like that. We can spread our sort of racing out and do other things.
I noticed also that you're going to Brooklands. Is that the famous Brooklands circuit?
Unfortunately not, no. That's Brooklands in Surrey. The on-road circuit is Brookland without an S, Brookland in Kent. So yeah, it's down near, it's quite far south. It's down near Romney Marsh. I don't know if you've been down that way.
Romney Marsh. I know Romney.
Yeah. So
I know the circuit.
Yeah.
I know the actual circuit. It's on the way to a place called, I'll think of it later. I hate the place. Absolutely hate the place. The road into it is horrible.
Probably Dungeness.
We go through it with work, and there's like a cafe at the back of it, and I've pulled in before, and I've had a break there. I've had a break there with work.
Yeah, Joe's Cafe.
Yeah, that's it. I'm trying to think of the name of the area. I hate going there because it's the other side of Romney Marsh, because the road in and out is just, and you get into like the village or the little town, where like the estuary and that is, and it's just horrible and tight, and all the roads around there are tight, and it's just horrible to drive around. So okay.
There's not a lot down there, but it's it's cracking track. I mean, that track itself was built years ago. But that hosted the I think they hosted the Euros. I don't know if they held a World Championship there once as well. I think it was just a European Championship.
It's a decent cup of tea, I will say that.
Yeah, Joe's all right as well.
Yeah, so obviously because I drive for a job, So we were down that way. It's down by Rye, I think it is, and
That's
we
it.
stopped. That's it. Yeah, it's Rye. I hate Rye. I hate Rye. Just hate driving around there. It's horrible. The place is absolutely beautiful to look at, and all the extra, it's stunning. It's just horrible to drive around.
Yeah.
But we stopped there and we had a cup of tea one day. So yeah, okay. Because I saw the track and it was like, I kept seeing it and we was due a cup of tea. I said, well, the cafe's open, let's put in. So I went and had a look. So okay, that makes sense. I noticed that you're at One Well this weekend.
Yep.
How's the preparation going? Because obviously I can only see half a car there.
Yeah, I've got a lot to do this week. I'm planning on heading over on Friday, but yeah, there's a lot of prep work going on. I got back from France. I was racing in France a couple of weeks ago in a place called Macon, and since then work has been busy and Boughton Raceway has been busy. We obviously hosted the Truck National. Had that going on over the weekend a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, it's been a bit hectic recently. So last minute prep. I'm out tonight, but the rest of this week it'll be flat out preparation, ready for the weekend.
Fantastic. What's your show? What's your show based on? What car?
So we use two different types. So the good thing with fifth scale on road is, unlike 1/10 on road, the body shells have to be a representation of a real racing car. 10th on road has lost its way, which is kind of why I've lost interest in it a little bit. The body shells are all about the aero. We tend to use two different body shells at the moment. So at the moment, this is my Porsche 911 GT3, straight off the track in France. Hence the
Nice paint job.
rubber damage. A little bit of battle scarring on there as well. So a proper replica of a proper race car. The other
is
type
racing.
of shell, it's been on its roof. We had a lot of grip out in France, and yeah, grip rolled, and hence the black scuff on the roof. But the other type of shell we use is an Alfa Romeo 156, I think it is, the old 156
Nice.
DTM car. So we tend to use that as a good all round shell. Unfortunately, at the end of this year, I think the homologation expires on it. So yeah, this is the last year for the Alfa Romeo shell. So we'll be using the Porsche a hell of a lot more going forward.
You have to have homologation on your shells, so it's pretty much like motor racing, then where you have to have homologation ends in.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they've all got to be homologated, and they all have to carry the EFRA stamp. I can't remember where it is on this one. I think it's on the rear. You probably can't see it. It's on here.
Yeah, I can just about see that.
You can see this one's been used abroad a couple of times, so we have to have them inspected, and you have to be stickered up. I've got two different ones on here from two different meetings, and I have to be stickered up with the EFRA logo to say that they've been inspected and passed. But yeah, it's pretty strict, especially in technical inspection when you get to. I mean, we're stricter at BRCA at national level because we are at national. It's kind of as high as you can go in the UK, but at EFRA level, once you go into Europe, it's like another notch up. So
Okay.
yeah, everything's absolutely scrutinised right down to the. Right down to the last nut and bolt, really. Chassis are stamped. Engines are. We have like a dab of paint that's put on an engine with a sticker. I don't know if I can show you on this engine. So this is one from recent EFRA GP. So it's marked with a sticker and little paint dots either side of it.
Yeah.
Put across the joint in the crankcase.
So if you open the crankcase, it breaks the paint and the sticker. Yeah.
Exactly.
This is pretty much like proper motorsport, isn't it? You know, because obviously when we seal an engine, obviously they go a little bit further than that, but generally with lock wiring you have to draw bolts and stuff. But that's still going quite a way. Who paints your shells for you? Do you do that yourself?
No, so that particular body shell was painted by someone you know, actually, Martin Ewan, who comes to the model week.
Okay.
Martin painted that one. But I've also got a local painter, guy called, a lot of people know, Scott Revel from Skim RC. He's currently painting me some new body shells ready for the Worlds in the same design, but he's kind of my go-to guy now. I'd love Martin to do all of them, to be honest with you, because he's absolutely great at it. But it's quite time consuming, and with his own job and obviously prepping his own cars, he hasn't got time to be painting my body shells. So yeah, Scott Revel at Skim RC, another little plug for you there. Scott does all my body shells now. So yeah, looking forward to getting the new ones back ready for the Worlds next month.
I'm trying to work out where Martin would find the time to spray shells, to be honest, because he does a lot of racing in lots of different classes, doing lots of things, and obviously he also does fifth scale racing as well, doesn't he?
That's right. Yeah.
He's Mecha Tech as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. So I introduced Martin to some fifth scale racing a couple of years ago, and as soon as he saw it, he was hooked. He's a bit like me. He's fascinated by the engineering side of things, and he's just yeah, he's really taken to it well. So he's yeah, he absolutely loves it. He's any race meeting in the UK, all the nationals he's at now, and yeah, really enjoying it, which is great to see. But yeah, last couple of years, since I got into it, I've introduced Martin to it. I've introduced Colin Passfield, from the Model Week.
Yeah,
he's got into it. We like I said earlier, the fifth scale section has just been growing and growing and growing. It's looking really good, and the future's looking good as well. We've got some really good younger drivers coming through. Yeah, it's great. We've got some new distributors starting up in the UK. S88R UK, for example, is a new brand and new distributor. It's always great to see yeah, more brands getting involved and more people getting involved.
I do apologise if people can hear like a whining noise. The neighbours are putting up a paddling pool in their garden, and that's an actual air pump. I've just looked out the window because I can see the noise, and it's like I can hear the noise. I see the noise. I can hear the noise, and I can see them putting paddling pools up. So that'll be why they wanted the hose pipe connector earlier.
It's not coming through my end, so hopefully you won't be able to pick it up. I hope you can't hear my dog. My dog outside going nuts as well. So.
I can't hear him. He's a lovely dog. He's just misunderstood, that's all.
Yeah, yeah, if you want to call it.
He's misunderstood. He's fantastic. So brilliant. So we wish you all at One Well. Hopefully, what we'll do is if we do one in a couple of weeks, because I'd like to do a follow up to this and see how you get on at One Well. If you don't do too well, we'll still do a bit of a follow up, and you can talk us through the event. Hopefully, you'll finish within the top 3, and you'll get another podium finish. Because obviously, looking at that champagne, you must be getting used to the champagne by now. So that'd be fantastic. Do the cars have chassis numbers as well? Because you said each one's individually marked for EFRA.
They're not. They've not got chassis numbers from the manufacturers, but EFRA will stamp. Well, not necessarily stamp, but they'll sticker and put paint on it, so you can't remove the sticker. But they'll label the chassis as well. So once you've started your qualifying run, before your first quali, you take your car to technical inspection and everything gets marked up. So once you're starting your race meeting, that's the car you're committing to. That's the chassis you're using, the engine you're using, the body shell you're using. Yeah, you're committed at that point.
So in a meeting, if you, I don't know, on round 1, you bend the chassis, you have a big off, bend the chassis, or you detonate an engine. Does that mean for round 2, if you've detonated an engine, that's your day over because you can't put a second engine on?
No, what you do is anytime you have to change a component that's been pre-marked, you go back through technical inspection, you explain why, and you have to have proof. So, for example, if you blew an engine up, you go to technical and say, look, this is my engine. It's beyond repair. I can't do anything with it. I need to put another engine in. You're permitted to use a different engine, but you get a grid penalty when it comes to your finals. Okay. So if you TQ'd the meeting and you was on pole, but you had to change your engine at any point during the day, you'd go back to the back of the grid and start from 10th place.
But you still get to race, so that's good.
Still get to race, yeah. It's very, very rare that you'll be sort of disqualified. EFRA are the same. They want to see cars on track, and we want to see cars on track, and we want people to race against. So we never ever want to see a driver not competing for any reason. We want to, we're all there to race, but we want to help each other out, and we want to see cars on track. So, Any time that a component has to be changed, it just results in a grid penalty. That's all.
Cool.
But yeah, obviously, the higher up you get, a grid penalty can be, quite serious. You don't want to be starting at the back in an A final, for example, because getting back through to the front is very difficult with the speed and how competitive everyone is.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's a bit like a daisy chain going around, isn't it? Everybody's on the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
racing line. Everybody's on the same braking points.
yeah,
And you're just looking for the guy in front of you either to be slightly off and make a mistake, or for him to bottle it on a corner until you can go past.
yeah. You got to pick your passing places sort of well, and you've got to be 100% that you're going to make the move stick. The racing in fifth scale is very, very. It's probably the best driving etiquette that I've ever seen in any scale of racing. To be honest with you, because of how expensive the cars are and how heavy they are.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see a car punted off or anything like that. We are very respectful, and the actual racing is generally very good.
That's just like touring cars, you know. All touring cars are all respectable to each other, and none of them ever do any rubbing or breaking each other into a corner, do they? I think I
Quite
must be
often.
watching a different touring car to you. But yeah, so that sounds really good. Well, what we're going to do is, because obviously I know you're keen to go and play badminton. I was going to go to the gym tonight, but I think with the heat, I don't think I probably will tonight. So thank you for coming on. We'll wish you all the luck for the weekend. Hopefully you'll do quite well. And say what we'll do in a couple of weeks. We'll have a bit of a recap and see how you got on the weekend. It'd be nice to have a catch up and see exactly how you got on the weekend. Hopefully you'll get a nice podium place and there'll be another bottle of champagne. Saying that, you'd have drank it by then and it would have been sprayed. But hopefully you get to open another bottle, so that'd be great. So thank you, listeners. Hope you've enjoyed this. It's something a bit different to the trucks that we tried to do. Obviously, with the truck series, there's only so much we can do, so we do try and put other podcasts in as well regarding other scales, other disciplines. So thank you all for listening. Hope you've enjoyed it. I would like, if possible, if people want to get in touch with me, I'd like to do like kind of like a bit of an interview with other drivers that do the truck series, regardless of your skill or ability. Drop me a message. We'll have a chat. Let's see if we can do a podcast with you. It doesn't always have to be about the top guys. It can be about us mere mortals lower down the field. Once again, thank you for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.